Women and beta men use sign language. Shame, insult, guilt need to be right when a fact statement that's said makes them feel bad or is true. They say buzzwords to insult men and wonder why chivalry is dead. Chivalry is dead, and who?
I don't know.
I don't know. Chivalry's not dead.
I don't think that chivalry is dead. I would say society killed it.
Society killed it.
I think so. I really do, because I think that some people, like some men, will say, like, I don't know, like, I don't know what I'm saying.
No, I know what you're saying.
Know what I mean?
So,
yeah.
But the thing is, it's kind of gotten to a point where like where women are like kind of entitled to it.
Yeah.
So like when a guy does it, he kind of looks like a. You're kind of like, oh yeah, you're falling into.
Yeah.
And so
falling
it's
into
so
your.
nice.
What's that?
I just think, I don't know. I like when a man doesn't care what other men
You got to
might
do it.
say,
You got to do it like a
know?
man. You got to do it like a boss. You got to do it like
for
a,
sure.
like you got to do it with some style. You got to do it with some riz. But
I think it's sad that men do feel like they're as if they're being nice.
And I've seen
no.
so.
It's not. It's not that. But it's how the girls treat them after they do it.
Oh, that's
Because there's a lot of entitlement there. A lot of girls, like, you hold the door open for them, they're like looking at their phone, they're like, yeah, thanks, fucker, you should hold that open for me.
That's
You know, not
rude.
not all. I'm not
Yeah.
saying you girls, but I'm just telling you, there's
That there
that's a
are ones
common
like that.
reality for a lot of men to deal.
Yeah.
There's a lot of female entitlement.
really
I think it
unfortunate.
stems from insecurity, personally, on the woman's part.
Well, and
not the
Yeah.
man.
And also,
sure.
a lot of men have had the experience of they do what they've been told by society and by women is the right thing. They
Yeah.
do the flowers, they do the elaborate romantic movie moment gesture, they, pay for the date, and then they get the ass out hug at the end of the date, and then it doesn't go anywhere. So men typically are not being rewarded for that kind of behavior. They don't get rewarded for the flowers. I'm not saying that men are owed anything because they do that, but when they do it, it doesn't seem to work. And then they later find out that girl hooked up with some guy who didn't do any of that shit, who was kind of the jerk, the bad boy, the asshole. And they men adapt. Men look at what works, and they see, well, paying for flowers, doing all this shit. I'm getting treated like garbage. I'm getting ghosted. Like,
My brother just had this conversation with me earlier.
And also
today.
men
What
don't.
did he say?
He said he's been trying to be the sweet guy, and same thing you said, flowers. He flew out all the way to Wisconsin to see a girl, like all of these big gestures, right? Very sweet. And he told me today, because I said I was coming on here, he goes, I'm just gonna go back to being a toxic king, whatever. And he's like, and he was like, because, and then I was like, no, don't do that. And he was like, no, really, because I'm not getting anywhere being the nice guy, and I don't know what else to do. Being nice doesn't work. Being toxic is bad. What else do I do?
It's
and
true,
I feel for him.
It's hard, though, because
true.
but the thing is, though, like when the guy does do a genuine nice gesture, like a lot of girls treat him like he's just some like pleb, like just some like dude that doesn't get any. You know how you treat your Twitch subscribers.
I know, we're all friends. No, we're like homies. Like, I love my Vibe Tribe.
No,
you
you
guys
do,
know I
you
love
do.
You guys.
You know.
They're
I'm
like
joining.
my
I'm joining
besties.
after. I'm signing up. I'm signing up. We're gonna do collab.
But I do have a comment about that, though. I think that, like, if
For
it's like
real
an
though,
empty...
look, that the guys do feel like that. I'm telling you from my side.
Yeah,
like,
definitely. But I feel like, for me, kind of, like, I'm a grateful person regardless. Like, someone could literally give me a penny and I'd be like, oh my God, thank you so much. Like, where's this from? Like, it's crazy. But, like, if someone I think for other women, it's kind of, like, the flowers and the chocolates, like, that's like an empty gift. Like, put some thought behind it. Like, even it's kind of like, you've just seen other people do that. Like, put some thought behind it. Like, get like their favorite flowers or like something that's like memorable, so that they wouldn't forget that instead of just getting like roses. Like, I don't know.
I agree. I see what you're saying. Like, I just think that overall, like, they're the entitlement.
Oh my
there
God,
you go.
thank you. Wait, where did you get this from? It's the prettiest penny I've ever seen in my life. 2021 too? Oh my God.
shiny.
I'm keeping this forever.
Sell it hard, baby.
Personally, I love the
Wow, she put it in her. Okay,
flowers
nice.
and everything.
Right next to my heart.
There you go. There you go.
Opening the door for me. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yes.
You like it?
From the
Yeah.
guy you like.
Yes.
No, I like it I think it's important for any guy to do that. But if they're met with, that entitlement you're talking about, that's super sad and that sucks.
And they should
My,
move
my,
on
my
very
philosophy for the
quickly.
guys is do it if if it truly aligns with your belief system.
Yes.
And then B, if the person is appreciating it.
Yeah.
Because I've been, like, I'm pretty sure you girls have been as well. I've been in a relationship with somebody or they didn't appreciate me, and I was just like, bitch, I'm doing everything for you. You are
Yes.
ungrateful. You know,
Yeah.
like that is never something you want to feel. So if it's happening towards the beginning, you know, that's just never a good way
Just
to set
like-
up the relationship.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that chivalry would include, for example, the guy paying on the first date?
Offering to,
Yeah, I
not
agree with
actually
that.
paying, or like,
Or, well, I mean,
Or actually paying if the girl says yes, you know, I don't know.
Okay.
An offer's nice, it's sweet.
I think the other thing too, though, is why chivalry is on the way out is men don't want to be suckers, and the reality of the dating marketplace is people are dating multiple people at the same time. People are sleeping with multiple people at the same time, and a guy doesn't want to adhere to his traditional gender roles if a woman is not adhering to hers.
makes sense.
Tradition would dictate that. In a traditional sense, you're dating one person at a time. Most people are not doing that. And to take it a step further, most people have a roster. They're sleeping with 1, 2, 3 other people. The last thing a guy wants to do is, for example, do the nice thing, do the chivalry, and then pay for a woman's food on a date, for example. She takes that to go. She gets a doggy bag to go, gives him an ass out hug, kiss on the cheek. Oh, it was a nice date. And then brings that food over to the guy who she's sleeping with, gives him the food. He
That would be
eats it, then
shitty.
he
Wow.
then he sleeps with her. That guys don't want to be
very
suckers.
specific.
I feel like
That's happened to a lot of guys. That happened. A girl foodie dated me on when I lived in Hawaii.
be horrible.
You know, she just like pretended she was, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, "Bitch, you this desperate for a meal?" Like, you know, she wanted to link up. She wanted to go out on a date, and then we went on the date, and she ordered a bunch of food, and then the date was over, and she wanted to go home, and then I just never heard from her again. And I figured out that she was doing it just to get a free meal, which is
that's-
hilarious.
There are men out there that they're the guy that the girl goes over to after they've been on a date with a guy. They get the free food, whatever. I think I don't know if I've been the guy on the date paying for the food. I don't really do dinner dates, but maybe a few times in the past. But I've definitely had a girl that she brought some food over. I'm like, oh. And like she was like, yeah, I went on a date. I was like,
oh, jeez.
yeah, girls have dudes in their phone like Uber. They'll have
You know what,
like
wrong,
food.
See, I have so much
You're not
anxiety
wrong, it's just
going
wrong
on a
to do
date.
that.
Like, I would never.